Yo, yo, yo. So we are back. This is Stay to the Point Radio on WFBS 98.1. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Stay to the Point Radio. And make sure you hit that bell button anytime it alerts you as soon as we drop, upload, or even go live. We will go live eventually one day as soon as we things start clearing out.
He said, we'll
We
do it.
start figuring out what the hell is going on with this internet because we've been having a lot of trouble with our
Have you
internet.
noticed? I've
All of
been
those
good
5G
lately.
towers.
Yeah,
I've been good lately, right? The last 2 times.
yeah.
but I don't know if it's the laptop that Nico and them had. They have a I forget what was it called. Oh, I forgot what it's called. The one of them Chromebooks. So it
Okay.
could be that. And now I'm on a regular laptop and it's knock on wood is working.
Yeah.
But
But make sure, man, y'all make sure y'all subscribe, repost, share, show love, man. Also, to other podcasters, uh, shout out. Y'all want to drop a shout out? We'll scratch our back. You scratch ours. We support. God damn it.
see, that's
We support.
later,
I
right?
just want to make sure hey, let's support each other. It's a community. Just show love. We'll show love back. Feel me? So we are back. We're gonna get into the man cave. In the man cave, I have a question for y'all before we get into the
Working on
topics. Okay. Um, the dumbest decision you have. Well, one of the dumbest decisions. We all make dumb decisions, multiple dumb. I mean, what is the dumb moment that you ever had in your life?
There's so many.
That I hooked up with this chick that looked like Gargamel.
That's the dumbest mistake you've ever made.
Yes. I'm sorry. That's one. It's one of them. I made a lot, but That's the first one for that. That's impactful to my life because that's the first thing that popped into my head just now. Like that, literally. That's the first thing that popped in. But I'll go back. I'll think it through.
Um,
Decision wise,
it's hard for me to say because I'm one of those people that believes that like everything that you go through kind of like
is a good thing.
yeah, cultivates you into like who you are. But I really do. Gosh, there's so many things. I would say,
I'll wait for y'all.
I used to say that it was maybe like going into college rather than going into the Air Force, but I think it really was me getting married.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I would say that. Like, I think about all of the things that I could have done because I lived outside of myself for so long. And, that could be like, oh, that's a whole blog right there. Because, like, I just went so long without being able to really get to know me because I was so busy trying to be a good wife, trying to be this, trying to be a mom, and just so much for me, I think, in life happened too fast. Like, my life went from A to like W in like a really, really, really fast, And I don't know. I'm divorced now, but obviously, but like that was a lot of wasted time and years of things. And I look back on all the stuff I could have done. So I'd probably say, yeah, that.
Dumbest decision. I'm letting you
I was gonna wait because I'm waiting for this car to go by. I got my garage door open. But
go.
anyways, um, I wanted to find a funny one. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be too serious. Oh well, this I think is funny because it was so stupid of what I did. Um, I got scammed one time, right? I had a green dot card, right? And green dot, you add money or whatever the case is to the green dot. That's how you, because I didn't want any bank accounts. Around this time, I was just like, I wanted to avoid as many times as, because I always end up in an overdraft all the time at one point where it was just ridiculous. Fees was like $35 every time you went overdraft. At one point, I owed the bank $200 because I was just going, swiping crazy, not budgeting myself well. So what happened was I ended up switching to Green Dot prepaid card or cash card. And one time I got some information. Somebody supposedly had a connection They said, hey, if you give me a certain amount of money, I can add an extra zero to it to your green dot.
That's what Carlton did that before.
I was like, word?
I already know.
Yeah, I could work the system. You know, I work at this, that, and the third. So I can add an extra zero. And I was like, oh, snap, son. Like, that's what's up. So what I did was took $500. Okay. And I was like, yo, so 5 should be good. That means I'm gonna get 5,000 back. Yo, that's a come up. It's a come up. The red flags were, oh, why you just don't just send about 10. Send about 1,000. I could get, this, that, and the third. Nah, man, I ain't got it, bro. Like, oh, you ain't got the 10? I'm like, nah, all right, that's cool. That automatically should have told me, like, damn, this is a scam. But anyways, I sent it to him, send him the little coding, because you're supposed to send a coding or whatever the case is. And I just wait 45 minutes, bro. 45 minutes. All right, man. I was like hype. I was at Radio Shack working. Hype. 50 minutes came by, check. Put the code in. $0. $0. Like, wait, hold up. And then the animated system was like, if you seem to have, like, having problems, there's a possibility you might be scammed of this, that, and third, because we've been having a lot of scam situations. Whoa, that's what the customer service, the animated system was saying. And I was like, oh my God, bro. I lost out of $500 just like that. And I mean, and $500 at that time wasn't easy to come across. Like, I was living check by check, trying to make a come up somehow, some way. And this is what I get for trying to take a shortcut. And that hurt my feelings, bro. And then my second one, though, is getting with this girl named Jocelyn that faked her pregnancy. That's another one.
See?
Yeah.
See, I'm
name dropping.
Yeah, no, I'm going to tell her name.
Yeah.
Jocelyn, I was a freaking 8th grader. She was a freshman in high school. She faked. I was a freshman. Then I became a freshman in Torwood. She was a sophomore. And then she tried to fake a pregnancy, putting pillows under her stomach and all that shit, bro.
And you fell for it? You fell for that,
no,
right?
no. I already knew it was bullshit, but at the end of the day, it's because I broke up with her. It was all because I broke up with her and she was trying to fake the phone.
I feel you.
And I was scared
I can't think of
another
one. I can't think of another one. That was my one. I'm telling you. And when I say that is because, sometimes you make a mistake and you do certain things and, it happened. And then when I say pregnancy scare, I got a call. So now, and I can't even say Gargamel. I would say Squidward more than likely. It was that bad. It was bad, man. I don't know, man. It was bad. And
damn, what was it? A drunk night, or you were just like, pussy is
pussy,
right?
It was there. It was there. I'm like, all right, man. Ain't nothing to do. All right, let me stop. That's wrong. But no, so the joint. So then the next, maybe 3 months later, hit me up and was like, I gotta talk to you. I was like, no. What do you mean? We don't talk? How'd you get my number? Like, for real? And I didn't say that. I wasn't mean. I said, all right, cool. Well, can you pick me up from work? I'm like, okay, bet. So then I do it. Now I leave everybody on we on the block, right? We hanging out, and I go, and I'm nervous. Like, please don't tell me nothing. I can't. I don't believe in abortion. I don't. If I did it, I did it. But in this case, I'm like, yo, I can't do this. So she goes, and she was like, wait. She goes, and she asked me to take her to Wendy's. I'm like, okay, yo, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be nice. Maybe, baby God will have my back. So I'll go, I go to Wendy's. She ordered her food, whatever, got her food. And then she was like, I gotta talk to you. She was like, I'm really feeling you. And I wanted to see if we could take it to the next level. And I looked and I said, no. Like that. And I was like, that's all? And I was like, yeah. And I got extra happy and she threw fruit punch all over me. But that was the happiest moment of my life. I can tell. Well,
Besides the fruit punch.
at that time. Oh no, I was good with fruit punch. I could change my shirt. But that would have been a life altering. Like, come on now, like that would have been crazy.
That's
and I was
crazy.
high school too, so I would have been young. You know what I'm saying? So that was the worst thing that at that point.
Sure, give us one more. Sure, give us one more.
I gave you 2.
She did.
Sure.
Did she? I don't have a second. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Speaking
can't
of Wendy's, did you hear that Wendy's gave the Trump campaign $400,000?
That's why they nasty now. I don't go to Wendy's anyway, but now I'm definitely not rocking with them. I can't do
It's
it.
like they did what?
Chick-fil-A be doing stuff like that too. I heard.
I'm
That's
sure.
why I start messing with them too.
I am about to stop messing with Chick-fil-A though.
I love that chicken. I'm sorry.
It's
ain't
good,
playing it.
right? Like their
No.
chicken
Good.
sandwich is good.
Oh my god.
Zach,
And
what
then
was it
their
that
waffle fries are always fresh.
just told me Zaxby's or something like that? It's
Zaxby's.
better. It's better.
No,
That's
I
what
had
they said.
Zaxby's.
I don't know. I've never had it.
I had Zaxby's.
I have a bunch. They're here where I live.
I've never had.
When I first moved to
I
Atlanta, I
searched
had
for it.
Zaxby's for the first time. What makes Zaxby's is the Zax sauce. Holy cow, that stuff
Zax
is
sauce.
good. So good.
The
But their
Zach
chicken
Morris?
tenders are banging.
The Zach Morris toss?
Zach Morris.
Zach Morris is trash. That's my favorite joint. My favorite joint. Yo, if you
Yeah,
think about it,
Zach
that dude
Morris
was a
is
jerk. Yo, that dude was
Yeah.
a jerk.
Zach Morris.
Zach Morris.
All right, let's get into it. Man cave.
Oh, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting.
It's a perfect time that we could just branch right into this because of the fact of what's all going on. Imagine the interracial. My phone going off. It's over there, so I can't do anything. But
This is got different beats and shit I never heard of.
I never heard that remix.
Come on.
All right. Interracial couples. I could imagine the conversations that could be having right now with interracial couples of this whole situation. It's very tough because I'm like, man, I know some parents that actually wouldn't allow their son to even date a Caucasian woman.
And that's my question before you finish. What is an interracial? Because they consider me and Yvonne interracial, and I don't.
No.
She's bullshit. Mexican, but I don't. But what do you think? Like,
no,
y'all don't think?
That's not interracial.
So you think only if you're white, pretty much.
No.
Or what? Like Mexico and black.
And also Mexico's a country.
That's what I'm saying.
Most Mexicans are Native Indian.
That's what I'm saying. So, but they can.
I hate that. Just like I hate Puerto Rican.
I don't like. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm not black.
Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm not black. Puerto Rico, it's not a race.
You could be. It's not a race. And that's why I said I will talk about it.
Look at his face.
But it's not. And I'm gonna leave it alone.
It's not a race.
I'm gonna talk about it next time.
I'm Dominican. That's not a race.
Man, I be having people. Yo, I'm not even gonna. I don't want to go.
Just like Africa, like that's why I don't like the term African American. Africa is a continent. There's 54 countries in Africa. 54. Not to mention all the different languages and everything. There are 54 countries in Africa. I am not African American. Okay.
I keep saying it. I'm glad somebody else thinks that.
Listen, y'all going off topic. I said
I'm sorry. We can get back, but he asked you the question. What do you consider interracial?
I just want to ask you, just for the public.
Interracial, I think, is European versus,
Asian.
you know, yeah. So it's black and white, pretty much.
It's black and white. That's it.
That's interracial couples. I feel
that's
like
how you feel. Okay.
It's a culture shocker. Like, I think that's a true culture shocker because, especially, not all, because you have your white chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Like that's been in the hood. You know, they know what it's about. They know what it is, and even then, they have this barrier to them too because of their skin color, unfortunately. So they gotta go through what they gotta go through.
Not change. This is something I have to say real quick. Even the white, just real quick, white people that are in the ghettos, you know, because that's a poverty thing or that's a income classification. But to me, with your race, like, because anybody can get out of the ghetto, right? That, I mean, that's really ideally, if you really want to work hard enough to get out of the ghetto, you can get out of the ghetto.
Right.
It's not a permanent place that you have to be in today's time, right?
Right.
So my thing with white people is even though I feel like it's a choice for anybody, but I feel like it's an extra choice when a white person chooses to stay there, because you could take the same avenues of going to school and all this other stuff or whatever, and so can we. But I still feel like those roads are easier for white people because doors open differently. Like, you can take a ghetto white boy and dress him up and put him in a nice tailored suit and do the same thing with a black boy, and I can guarantee you that white boy is going to get a job before that black man does.
Oh, of course.
So that's all I'm
Especially-
saying about it. I'm not saying that they don't have their own struggles or whatever, especially from a financial aspect, but from a race aspect, they don't have the same struggles, because if somebody doesn't know their background or where they come from, they don't judge them by that, if that makes sense.
Right. No, I
All
agree.
black people, no matter where you come from, the assumption is always that you come from the ghetto.
No, I agree. I think at the end of the day, obviously you could dress up, like you said, Sherry, like you could dress up a white man, a white boy, and dress him up and have him talk, because he is still in his blood. He's able to talk and clarify. Might be able to clarify a little bit better.
Example, have y'all seen Banker?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
Okay, well, I wish y'all did, because that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've seen enough though of things like that to understand for sure.
It's a really good movie. You should watch it.
I'm gonna check it out.
I mean, you can have like a Leonardo DiCaprio that comes in and versus, a Michael B. Jordan. Now, Michael B. Jordan, it might be hard to turn him away though, bro. Like, Michael B. Jordan is a real clean brother. Like, it's
not when he was Wallace. Now,
yeah,
yes.
Well, I mean, let me tell you an example is this. I had dread. I had my long hair since for 10 years, starting in high school. I cut it in 2009, thinking I'm going to adapt to. I'm gonna have a Caesar, low cut, conservative, have the suits on and all of that. Well, I got turned down from jobs more than with the locks. I got treated similar, if not worse, with short hair. It's all about my skin. I can't do anything for that. It wasn't really about
your education didn't make a difference.
Went to Georgetown, got my master's degree. I got all of that, all the credentials. You know what I'm saying? But that, I'm not saying that's why I got turned down. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that when they talk to me, it still was like, they would talk to me about the projects and this and that and say, you know what I mean? And I'm like, no, because I don't live in a project.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. The assumption is already there. Black people have to break walls down to get respect and stuff like that. And even still then, even after they know your education, they know where you come from, or they know more about you, or that you're a veteran, whatever your situation, you had to explain all of that about yourself before you break those walls down with white people and are accepted by some, not all. Again, this is not all white people, but by some. Like when I moved to the South, I swear it's all about what neighborhood do you live in? What school do your kids go to? Mm-hmm. Oh, what kind of car do you have? This and this. I mean, that's a big thing here, even with Black people, especially in Atlanta. Absolutely. Oh my God, Atlanta.
Yeah, I've been down there.
Yeah. Holy cow. With Black people. Yeah. It's Black people. And you have to explain your whole life. What school did you go to? What before they can see if they're going to accept you into their prestigious little Black group.
Their circle, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Look. Let's get back.
Okay, sorry. Back to Man Cave. I'm sorry.
Well, interracial. My question to y'all is: have you ever been in an interracial relationship, and how did it go? That's my ask Sherry, since I know Ariel. He done. Let me stop. I'm gonna stop messing with her. But nah, for real, have you guys, ever been interracial? Two completely different. I'm not talking Puerto Rican and Dominican. I'm just playing. But I'm speaking about like, you know, like for me, I've dated a lot of different. But I was just asking, like Sherry, like how did if you have, how was it in terms of the family, the person?
I haven't,
You
but I
haven't.
have dated other cultures like Puerto Rican,
Okay.
and you know, islanders and that stuff.
Eight
You
So
Puerto
know,
never
Ricans
like
the
a
night.
never,
Eight Puerto
never.
Ricans was like it gotta be your number one, yo.
Oh Lord. Anyway, I'm not gonna get on.
Gotta be your number
So never
one,
like
bro.
never
I mean,
Asian
at
or
least
anything.
memorable. Like it has to be like,
This dude
it
said
is.
memorable.
all right, cool,
That's all you
cool.
need to hear. That's all. Nah. The reason I'm asking that question is because
But
I,
I love a black man a lot.
no
I
doubt, no
love
doubt.
black men. I really do.
No doubt. And my thing is that, like, for instance, like they'll look at, like, I just got it into this one group, right? That it's a blackout group. You guys know about that July 7th
Yeah, I posted about
blackout,
it.
all of that, right? That no black dollars and all that. So I got invited to a group. I went in there, and they just coming at, yo, if you're not with a black woman, then you nothing. Like, and I'm like, well, just because. And I asked a question, so I said, okay, well, my wife, you know, is different. That's why I was telling you they consider, just, she's Mexican. We know that's a nation. Now, the difference with my wife is that she has more European. Like a lot of people, I don't know if you fall that side, but a lot of people that was our friends that seen her thought she was from like somewhere like Greece or Italy or something like that. I don't see it, but they did, and she's very very pale, like she's very light. So I don't know if that's why, but they haven't really seen her. But they based off that, they was like, yo, you know, well, you know, like I'm not for the cause of black people, and I'm like, what do you do? You know what I do for us? I educate. I do. It doesn't matter who I'm married to. It's not like I'm this. I hate to say it, but like what they say about Tay Diggs. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not that type of guy. Like that's
It's
I'm just
Tay
focused.
Diggs and a whole lot
Yeah, and
of
a
them.
whole lot of people like you just saying, and now you're now you basically don't do nothing for your people, and you're all about over here, and you pretty much become what traditionally people call Uncle Tom. That's never been me. That's not me. But that's the way it looks. And I have a cousin that he's totally different. He's from Queens, New York, white from Manassas, Virginia, white. She's white. He's not. And that is something that they get looks at the store. You know, looking like, you know, oh, he's not black enough, or he's with her because he can control her. And I'm thinking like, if you've never dated outside and understand, the craziest chicks that I knew were actually Asian and Indian, like packet, well, Asian descent. They now, because there's a difference. The softest ones that I've dated that I were pushovers were black. They had maybe bark, but they really didn't have that bite. I'm not saying all of them. When I say that, I'm trying to say don't be misled because they're not cursing you out. And that goes for black or whatever. But that's what like the world thinks, is that when you date, like when a black man dates a white woman or an Asian woman, it's because they're like whooping their ass or something, or not basically they want a weak woman, and that's sometimes it's true, but that's kind of what my experience was seeing that, and that's what my cousin was saying. So like I was gonna ask Sherry as a black woman, when you see that, what do you think the same thing?
Because that's what I was about to comment on. So,
Mm-hmm.
from my experience, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just tell you, I'm gonna give you a comment from my ex-husband who is now remarried to a white woman.
No,
They're actually
yeah.
they're going through a divorce or whatever.
Oh, well, then that
Not
means
that
that's
this is
him.
public opinion,
It's him. If it's
but
two, you got two. That's you.
but
What's wrong with you? Go ahead.
he after like the fire calmed with us or whatever,
Yeah.
he because he used to talk to me real crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he had admitted to me that he said, I can't talk to her like that, basically implying that she can't handle it. Right.
Oh, true.
And, I felt some type of way about that
I see what you
because
mean.
we, as Black women,
I see what you mean.
we,
Yep.
we have to put up this armor because of the way that
Mm-hmm.
the world in general, including our men and our mothers and our fathers, the way that we're handled. So it is innate in us to be that way. but that doesn't mean that we like it. That doesn't mean that we don't like the gentle touch or whatever. I mean, it's the same thing with like when Michelle Obama came out, and to me, Michelle is classy and everything else, but the world tried to paint her as an angry Black woman. And I just, I feel some type of way about that because, that resonates with me. Like, I understand that because people will do that just because we speak passionately. And my other theory with this, and also in regards to Black men, why white men are immediately want to kill us, is because I think a lot of things, the history that was erased from our life, even though we don't know about it, and yeah, we talk about it, but the fact that we really do come from royalty and we come from a place, and this is centuries ago, sure, but it's when it's in you, it's in you. And I think that we always, that it's in us, it's natural for us to take that we come off strong, you know what I'm saying? And for, just gonna say it, for a white person or a passive person, that comes off to them as aggressive. So they've changed the narrative of our natural ability to be strong to us being aggressive, and this you know indirectly affects us in other ways. Like, for instance, the fact that Black women get the worst medical care because everything with us is just, oh, she can, like, we're supposed to handle it. We're thick skinned, and all this stuff. And my problem, I guess, to go back to the interracial topic, is that our men treat us that way. And in a situation like what happened in Minnesota this week, um I had seen a poem and a girl wrote, and it's the truth, that when our Black men die in the streets, always a Black woman crying for you. And yet you treat us, not all Black men, but a large majority of Black men treat us very badly and handle us any kind of way. And you Black women, we start to resent that treatment and stuff like that. And then you also have to understand that a lot of Black women don't have the same home experience that a lot of white women,
about to just talk about that.
and being taught how to cater to their men and cater to their men in certain ways. And in almost every culture, especially Asian and Mexican, they are taught that,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
they are taught how to be a wife. They are taught how to be a mother. And Black women often are not. And they just have to kind of learn as they go. And that's why you don't really see a well adjusted Black woman until she's in her late 30s or 40s, because life has taught her and she didn't have the ability to learn that at home.
Absolutely. And the thing that I see what you're saying, and on the flip side, I could tell you growing up, young, I'm talking, before we when we were teenagers, it's the fact that it's a difference that you felt. And mind you, I have dated more women of color, and I can tell, and it's no offense, and I'll tell, my white homegirls and everything, I just have never found a white woman that we identify with, that we were like that. I've dated half white, half Asian, full white. One girl I was cool with, but we really, we didn't. I don't call it like we weren't a couple. We just were talking. You know what I mean? But it wasn't because I didn't like them, because I like anybody that's cool. But I have dated more Black women, more Hispanic women, more Asian than anything. Like specifically those two, right? So with that, there was always judgment. And I noticed that the white women didn't judge you. So if I had raggedy shoes on, white women ain't tripping. Black young, I'm talking young. I'm not saying women. Let me take that back. Let me stop saying women, because they were young girls. They were in school. They're like, look at this dude's beat up. It's all about your image, right? But then I started to learn as I grew up, it's not Black. It's the American Black, because the ones from Ghana, Jordan, Chad, I don't see them like that. They don't act like that. They dealing with dudes with Payless stuff and they don't care. It's not a focus, and that's because of America. But also, like you said, to your point, I think it's true that a lot of these homes, including our black people in other countries, the women are with a father and a mother, and that man didn't get stripped out of their homes like they did in America. So they have to do for themselves. Now, mind you, my wife is not black, right? She's not black, but she always jokes and says, I am black, like playing around and stuff. And I'm like, yo, you're really not. Now, she doesn't, you've never met her, Sherry, on you might have seen her post or whatever, but she's not nowhere near. I mean, she's like, I would say like not, I don't even say preppy, but whatever the case is, she's not black. She's not like I'm trying to be in the culture. I'm not. But everything about being strong, and I could do this myself, because her dad wasn't in the house like that. So I think what it is that we need to stop looking at race, and we need to look at, I bet you if you put three, a white woman, a black woman, an Asian woman, and a Hispanic woman in the room that didn't have that father structure, they'll have the same story. I guarantee you that, because I've tried it and I've seen it, and I'm like, wow. But on a grand scheme, of course, black American women more than anybody. But it's that. So I always say to people, don't judge black women, and don't judge me because my wife may not be black, or girlfriends in the past or whatever. Don't judge it like I don't like black women, because my favorite woman of all time is Nia Long. I like the brown skin, like that was my Nia Long, and I'm cougar type stuff, and Angela Bassett, like whoa. And my wife knows this. She can't fight me on this. She knows if I don't care how old Nia gets, we might have a problem if she knocks on the door tomorrow. Like, I'll be joking. I'm joking.
What?
But I'm just saying, like, no, real talk. Like, we joke. And, but we are from, like, two different worlds, things like that. But I always say, it's like, you cannot, how can you not like, if you're black, or when I say, I include Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and Cubans, I say the same thing for them, specifically when they are of color. I know there's white, Cubans as well, but I'm saying in this situation, how can you not and hate on your black people and you tell me you love your mother?
Yes.
You can't. It's just, you can't do it. You can't tell me black women are ugly. Well, then your mother is too. You can't tell me that. Like, what? It doesn't make sense. So those are
But
idiots.
the crazy thing is, like, growing up, I've heard that so much. And it's like, the darker you are, the uglier you are. I've seen guys pass me up to be with a light-skinned girl because she was light-skinned, but she was not cute. Like, in no shape or form. And for whatever reason, her light skin tone somehow made her cute.
And I think it's subconscious, because it's just society made it. Look at the Spanish soap operas. How many of the dark Hispanics, or the ones that even look like Ariel, like that are on those? No. Same thing with Asian. Asians want to round out their eyes a lot of times. Like, everything is about to be in Caucasian. Like, because the world sees, I hate to say white is right, but that's what they see it. They see that that's the acceptable of, like you mentioned earlier, of every country you go into, you just go in there.
Well, we wear white to weddings, we wear black to funerals. White is defined as pure and clean. Black is defined as evil. So, I mean, it's
except the white light.
Okay.
Don't go in that white light. That's
okay. But even that is heaven, right?
True.
So when you look at it like that, it is, by design programmed into us to believe that white is better.
So
I mean, I think of what y'all both were speaking on is pretty much exactly what's going on. And the common thing that I heard though is incomplete parenting is a big deal. Just the fact the man wasn't at home, the woman not at home. It's you don't get the best of both worlds, because obviously the little girl falls in love with the daddy first, right? So then she has a clear view of what her husband should look like. Not look, but at least act. Yes. Characteristics.
That we go through that all the time here. And that's what I was telling my wife.
And I think that's obviously very important. I can honestly say, and I spoke about this to my wife about how I'm obsolete, that I'm very unique, and not to be on some cocky shit. I'm not trying to prop myself or anything like that. Uh, that me and Fuego, we stayed with our woman. We stayed with our kids. We throughout all the hardship, the struggles, and all that, we were right there, and we trying to lead as a good example towards our daughters, towards our sons. You know, on how to handle life, because at the end of the day, you are their role model. You know, the mother is so important in every way possible. A woman is the backbone. Without a woman, this world would be upside down, on fire, destroyed in every way possible. Imagine like Sherry, a beautiful, wonderful mother, very smart, very educated. Like she said, she's very opinionated. But what she's when she comes out aggressive is really trying to enforce people to see the bigger picture. It's not to literally turn and break them down and make them to feel this small. It's really just to embed it in somebody's head. Like, listen, look at what's going on. It's just putting the mirror to somebody's face.
No. To your point, I'm gonna say this last thing. That if me and what Yvonne was talking about this the other day, I said think about, and we were talking about how important it is of the family structure. I said even though, and this is what I love about one of my exes, her dude, I was really cool with her. We dated for like really a couple months, but her baby's father, right? And I was funny about that because I never wanted to date somebody that had kids if I didn't have, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to deal with the drama, right? They had no drama. I thought they was brother and sister when I first met them. They just didn't get along. They should have never been together in that sense. But he's there for her. He's there for the kids. So the structure is still there in terms of, you know what I mean? Like maybe every single day. You know what I mean? But I started talking to her about mothers, and I said, I'm not saying fathers are vital, specifically with little girls. I feel like just to show you, like you said, how you're supposed to protect the family, how you look out for the family, and what they should expect. Like I know right now.
I think so for the son, not to interrupt.
Yeah. No, for the sons.
For the sons as well, because at the end of the day, that you have to see your dad, how he takes care of his mom. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, okay, when I have a wife, this is how I'm gonna raise her. I'm gonna raise her like a queen. I'm gonna make sure that she's taken care of, well provided. When we have kids, our kids are gonna be well provided, well taken care of, and they always come first.
Now
no sacrifice.
Exactly, and I say this thing right here. I'm not trying to diminish us as men, but I told her how important the woman was, the mother is. I said in life, when I hear, I'm not saying there's no men, I mean women or whatever, but how many times do you see that when there's a single mother and a stepfather, then like Shaq, he's like, my stepfather was there. But how many stepmothers do you hear like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know people might be confused with what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that I see that, not that a father could be replaced, but sometimes he can, but I rarely hear that a mother could be replaced. I've heard it, but rarely. You still got, it's something that bond. I mean, they carry.
So a lot of women are not able, even good women. It's hard, and I know because I raised my stepson Jaden.
Yeah,
it's hard to when the child is not yours. Even for some men that come into children's lives when they're already a little older, let's say 10, 12, it's hard to, I guess, like, the truth is those kids are already in their way a little bit, and sometimes it's hard to try to to go in there and try to reprogram a system that's been in play for so long. And you kind of sometimes find yourself you maybe you feel like you're not, like, you don't have a place there. I guess you find yourself out of place. I know that was my feeling a lot of times. That I just, even though I was trying to do everything that I could to be the best stepmom that I could, sometimes I felt like, do I have a place here? Me and Jaden had a really good relationship, and that's all that mattered to me. But as a step parent, you're also able to see through the bullshit. And I say that because it's a lot harder for those kids to manipulate you, because you came in and sometimes you get crap from existing family members because you try to tell them something about their precious child, and then they're like, no, blah blah blah. And so then it's a battle just trying to have a place in that kid's life, and then there's some families that don't put you through all of that, and they accept you immediately, and your opinion is valid and stuff like that. But it just depends on the situation, I think. But a lot of times it's hard to have an opinion with a child that's not yours, per se.
That's true. That's true. I'm same way. I know with me, like obviously Tammy, she has older children, Justina Evans. And I remember first when I got with Tammy, it was more like, look, man, I'm not your dad, I'm not your stepdad. I'm your best friend, if I can be. If you allow me to be, I could be your best friend. Anything you need, any conversations, I'm an open door. All I could tell you is what I experienced. But I tell you up front, if I never experienced it, I don't know what to tell you. But I was just always that guy, and I always kept it that way. I don't ever want. I mean, I don't ever wanted to be that person to replace anybody. Either you invite me in or don't. At the end of the day, I'm here, and that's why I kept it as. So it's different from obviously little children. It's different. I mean, they're gonna look for that. But if you're a teenager, damn near 15, 16 years old, it's like you already on your you know the rules. You know what's up. You know what's good. I'm not trying to be anything but what you allow me to be. So, and that's how we kept it. It worked. It worked. And to this day, I'm very tight with both of those. And I was about to say kids. They're not kids no more. They're grown as adults. But I'm cool with both of them. So, yeah. All right, we got too serious on this interracial couple. Let's get into some fun shit. All right, and we
that's
still
supposed to be a fun topic, though.
No, it was real.
About to say.
It was real. Let's get into some fun shit. Come on, let's go, Floyd.
What we could put this on the what the fuego. We could do that.
It's,
you want me to just? I'll start. Okay, so we have a conversation. So okay, you have what, 3 or 4 girls, Sherry?
4.
4. Oh damn.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Wow. 4 girls.
4 girls.
My brother-in-law got 4 girls, so I was like,
it's a lot of work.
A lot. So 4 girls, okay, and then you had your stepson, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my oldest and I think my youngest son, one's 11, one's 10. They going through puberty. So the conversation I had with the oldest one was, I said, so let me ask you a question. Do you sometimes feel, like when you're thinking about certain things, your private, your private part,
Ariel ain't ready. He's like,
and he was like, yeah. I said, so what do you think about girls or boys? I had to ask the question because, not that, but I had to say, he was like, not boys, girls. So, inside I'm like, word. But I'm just saying. So then I said to him, I'm in a nice jovial way. I'm like, if you, so it happens, men go through things and they, feel this. And then I flipped it real quick and I said, but I'm telling you right now, if you're beating off, do not do it in your sister's room. Do not do it in the rooms. Go in the bathroom and do that. Because I see balled up tissues and that shit is nasty and I ain't playing with you. I said, so get your ass in there. He has a habit of, he doesn't understand sometimes. So he be like, my pee-pee is growing more and more. And I'm like, son, you don't do that shit. Like, what's wrong with you? So the other day, my wife's like, "Yo, he on the couch," and he's like, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And she walked in and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And she said, "Get that carrot out your pants." For all y'all young women, don't get too excited. Stop. You know what I'm saying? He said, "That's not my carrot. That's my pee-pee." I'm like, I told you he was coming. So oh shit, he's gonna hear me because he gets mad at me.
Oh my
So
gosh.
he said, so now, okay, she's like, "Do you know how?" I was like, "Do not describe my son to me. That's nasty. I don't do that." So now, both of them, I can't even get hot water in the shower. You know showers, yo, us men, it take 10 minutes, if that. We what my mother would call the orifices. We do that, but, you know, all that stuff. They be in the shower 45 minutes each.
Damn.
And exactly. And I'm telling you, so me and Saya, we started laughing. So Saya brought up the fact that, you remember, and we, like, when we was younger, when we first, that's an awkward stage because you literally get aroused for anything. That's men. I don't know what the little girls do yet, and I'm so scared. But the men, for anything. And when I say anything, I gotta stand up for this. Because we get so crazy, we walking like this. We walking like that. We walking like that. We gotta walk hunched over now. We gotta walk hunched over, and we be like, yo, and the people be trying to talk to you, get out of here. Let me go over here and get away from that. It can't happen, and it can happen anywhere. Like, to the point, I'm gonna be real. I'm standing in the Commons. I'm not telling y'all who I was talking to, but I was talking to 3 of them, and I was like, God damn it, can the bell ring? Can something happen? I was like, please. So luckily we didn't wear skinny jeans back then.
Check it. I was the king of flipping. And when I mean flipping,
Flip with that joint.
bruh, flipping, bro. I used
like,
to.
I'll win another way with this. Like,
Dude, it was all right. When obviously when you younger, you start experiencing new things. You start
yeah.
acknowledging your body a little bit more, and you're no longer into Ninja Turtles and basketball anymore. You now into girls and stuff like that. So obviously, like, you start seeing things. Okay, video cassettes that your parents was hiding on top of the closet, and you bump into it. Ooh, what's this X about? What is this X? Because that X that's on a video cassette. Let me pop that in. I've never seen it. Obviously, it's something bad if it's hidden, right? Check it out. Ooh. Ah. So now it's like, oh, but like within a minute, like it's just a natural thing of life, right? So we obviously, Sherry, let's get to it. We automatically, when Quay was talking about his sons, and now they're at their age of, they're getting aroused on certain things and they discovering different things and all that. And they understand that when it comes down to certain, liquids and stuff, and you put it together and whatever, right? Shit happens, right? So we started reminiscing on our younger days of what we did, and how it was just some embarrassing moments that we had. So
Yes.
I don't know how we was going to include you in this conversation.
That's what I told him that Sherry's not like.
It was like
in that respect, but you could join in if
it's just like
she's like, I don't know about all this shit.
It was really funny though. I wish you were in the conversation originally, because you could have just been the laughing piece. Oh, these boys are stupid. Hilarious. Oh my God, y'all dumb. Okay, now I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. One of those type of conversations.
She feels that she has that facial expression like right now. Like, are we gonna end this show soon? Or what are we gonna do?
So, like, yeah. But anyways,
it was wild. But no, on the other side of what the fuego, I have to say this. I know we talk about Mr. Trump and how crazy and dumb this shit is, but the epitome of dumb is naming a missile. You know the name of my missile is the super duper missile. the super duper missile. And then the flag of Space Force is the same shit as Star Trek. I'm done. I said that right there. Do y'all know how stupid y'all look following this shit? Like, oh my God, the dude said the super. Imagine him fighting with Korea, North Korea. Well, guess what? We have our super duper missile. Like, your super duper missile,
he sounds 5. That's like
what I'm saying. Like, my super duper missile. I'm just going to ban you. Like, well, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave the meeting. And I'm gonna get my super duper missile ready. It sounds like he's gonna tie a pillowcase and fly or something, like a weird shit.
Like put a pillowcase around his neck and call it a cape.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The dude said, I call it the.
That's my super duper missile.
Confidence. Well, I call it the super duper missile. And the dude on the side was like, dude, did you really say super duper? You said the super duper missile. And then when I look at your flag, it's a Star Trek flag.
Dude, this whole week I'm just like, I hate it here. Like, that's just how I feel. It's just crazy.
Imagine the
Twilight
decal on it. That should say super duper with his face, and he.
No,
like the world is laughing at us so hard.
It's sad to be American.
Dude, they be like this. They be like, yo, he said it again. He said something else. Yo, he said super duper missile. Look. Like, you know what I'm saying? He said super duper. I will never get over that. So every time one of the followers say something, I said it must be super duper, and then they get mad and block me. I'm like, whatever.
You know, with my post, and I don't have a problem with it, but I've lost like 100 followers on Facebook.
I don't care.
I mean, I don't care, but I just noticed the drop, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, I don't know who they were, so that just shows you how much I actually care. But and then I had lost some on Instagram, but I had gained some too. But it's whatever, you know.
I was
like
about to post under Dante's post about when you said what you said about to say super duper, but I stopped.
But I'm not like
super duper.
Like I'm not. And did you see, like, first of all, kudos to Billie Eilish, you know, she went the F off. You hear me? Mm-hmm. And every bit of what she said was true.
I've seen that. I share that.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And she's dope. We have the same birthday. Go Sag.
Nice.
So she's dope, you know, and I really appreciated her honesty and her ability to step back and look at the whole situation as a whole and you know, think about what she was going to say. And you know, even though she thought about what she was going to say, she was just like, you know what, F this is how blah blah blah. And I was like, that's dope.
Yeah,
I want to get a I Can't Breathe shirt.
Yeah, I think I have one in my cart. I was about to order that.
Order that one along with your super duper missile shirt. All right.
Oh snap, that'd be fire.
That would be kind of dope.
I'm thinking about making that
super duper missile. I'm surprised. Does he have that on his website? I didn't check since he's making T-shirts.
And I'm gonna give it to Nico to wear. All right, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's getting bigger. All right, let me stop. All right, he's gonna be mad. He was mad as hell last time because I sent a picture to Saya. He thought it was
guy.
Him. Saya was like, "Was that your son?" And I was like, "No, that's not really." It was a picture, but it looked, it tripped me out too.
Yeah,
but crazy. Anyway, that really did it for what the fuego for me. Y'all already heard all the stuff, but definitely the super duper missile. That was my week. That was the stupidest thing I've heard all week. Other than the guy that broke into the store to make a hot pocket.
Yeah.
The bank. The
bank. Yeah.
He broke into the bank to make a hot pocket.
To make a hot pocket.
Well, not to make it, but to warm it up anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you broke into the bank. You could have went to the 7-Eleven and that's free.
You say your dog got a crush on you?
I think so. He's at that stage that your son is at.
Yep, the super duper stage.
He always try to lick my toes. Like, get out of here.
Yo. That's wild. But that's all I got with the fuego this week.
Yeah. I definitely want to get a Can't Breathe shirt. But yeah. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Again, that is another show of Stay to the Point Radio on WFBS. Make sure again subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as our Instagram at Stay to the Point Radio. We always constantly, we're going to start dropping some clips real soon. Obviously, I'm going to be working on, this week is going to be a busy one. We got plenty of clips that I could definitely drop on Instagram. Sherry went off, Wade went off, and they made some great points. And I definitely want to go ahead and highlight that and get that to y'all. Again, thank y'all. Love y'all. Y'all got any last thoughts, final words, shout outs?
Good. Just keep supporting the movements and try to not get in trouble. That's all I'm saying.
My message is going to be the same. You know, I'm at the point of this whole don't let up stuff because they want us to. You know, they want us to riot and be done with it, and then next week we're back to our funny memes and all that stuff again. But don't let up. You know, be vigilant. Don't go get in trouble. Like, you know, but try to, you know, be respectful, but be vigilant at the same time.
Kill them with knowledge.
Yes, I was about to say knowledge and kill them with your pockets. I am a firm believer that the only way is we have to uplift our community financially and with education. And the only way to do that is to really get back to the mindset of being okay with the fact that we do still have very segregated communities. Don't leave your community, build up your community. And that's just where I'm at with it.
Another shirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's up, man. Again, figure out it is. You feel me? Y'all have a great one. I hope everybody has a great week. Stay blessed, stay positive, and like we say at the end of every show, God over everything. Deuces.